One of the most difficult things that I find to do is to eat. So most of the time I don't go out to eat because, to be honest with you, I'm embarrassed. I have to have someone cut my food for me. I have to be careful the types of food I order because I may not be able to eat them, not just because of my digestive system, but also because I may not be able to get into the food with a knife or fork or spoon. When I'm at home, I often just snack on items that I can pick at with, say for example, chunks of cheese that I can just stick a fork into and eat it. As you can see with my right hand, I'm pretty good at holding a fork. Again, it's because my fingers curve a bit and they can rest. Now, when I use my other hand, my left hand, I just don't have the ability to hold this the same way. It's very awkward, and it almost never do I use the left hand. Of course, it's prettier than the right hand, but it's not as functional. So, I mean, it looks good with fingernail polish, which I'm proud of, but I don't do my own nails. Okay, now, as you can see, I'm limited basically to a fork and a spoon that I can grip, and I'm limited to using my right hand to do it. So, it doesn't matter if it's got a big grip on it or whatever, it still doesn't help. I mean, it has to be lightweight enough for me to hold and work with. So what I'm trying to demonstrate is that when I'm at home, I don't mind, making a mistake, dropping something, not being able to pick it up. But when I'm out at a restaurant or someone's home, I don't want to embarrass myself, and I hate asking people to please cut the food, or it's just embarrassing. So the most difficult thing I find to do basically is eat. Okay, so most of the food that I use, that I eat at home, I will put into a bowl. See, I can pick up a bowl with two hands. I can cook my own food, but that's even trickier. However, the reason I use bowls is to keep the food from sliding off the plate and make it easier for me to get it using a fork or a spoon. As you can see, it's much easier to dip. I'm going to see if you can get a closer look here. It's much easier to actually put the spoon in the bowl like this and eat. Of course, I cannot do it with my left hand again. I could, but it's very awkward, and half the time, because of this position like this, the food slides right out. So you're going to have to figure out a way to use your hands, which are usually curved under, because I don't know of anyone who's had their hands fixed the way I have. You're going to have to figure out a way to be able to handle the utensils. Of course, sometimes it's easier just to pick the food up and eat it with your hands, but that's not always possible, especially when you're in good company out in a restaurant. It looks kind of bad. Anyway, so I use a fork with my right hand again, and a spoon, always in the right hand. And then I will, adjust it with my left hand. Now keep in mind that I always try to use a bowl rather than a flat plate. This is the kind of bowls I use, or a bowl like this, because I'm concerned about the food sliding off the plate when I'm trying to grip it. Now sometimes when I'm watching TV, I will hold the plate against my chest like this with my left hand, and then I will eat the food out like this. That works for me. I can't put the plate in my lap and do that because I'm afraid I won't get the food up to my face. It'll probably fall off the fork or the spoon. So often when I'm at home alone, I'll put this plate, this bowl, right up close. So in case anything spills or I drop something, it'll be right back in the plate and I won't lose it. Too often I've dropped plates. The food is rolled off the plate after a lot of work trying to cook and landed on the floor. So this is the way that I find that's most practical, comfortable, and functional for me to eat my food. And believe me, it's an embarrassment to try to eat out in a restaurant. I don't like to do it, but I have done it. And usually I need assistance, which is another thing that is not always, does not always make me feel good. Sometimes I feel kind of depressed and ask people. Makes me feel too different than everyone else. And again, whenever I have a cup, glass, it must be held with two hands. I just cannot. I mean, as you can see, I really just can't hold it. So it would be ridiculous for me to try to hold it with one hand. I just can't do it. I mean, it has to be with two hands. And I'm assuming that the rest of you are just like me. You need two hands to be able to pick things up. Like this, for example. Now, not everything will require two hands, but for me, just about everything does. I mean, I don't know of too many things, if any, that I can just use one hand. And I can pick up my glasses with one hand. I've learned to do this. But I don't know of too many other things that I've been able to do picking them up like that. Now, when I take vitamins, I usually, use two hands to open the top. And then sometimes, I have to put the vitamins into the top of the plate like this, top of the jar. And then sometimes I'll just go like that and take the vitamins, or I'll pick them up with a spoon. Most of the vitamins that I take, I use a spoon. That's the easiest way for me to get any kind of vitamins. Even aspirins, Tylenol, medications, I use a spoon. I just wanted to let you know that life with scleroderma is not easy for any of us, including me. I mean, I may appear to be, doing real well and have a luxurious life, but everything I have, I do myself. All the money I have, I make on my own. I don't have any welfare, no disability. Everything is based on what I have been able to get for myself. No one supports me, and this life is not easy, but it's possible. It's possible for all of us to be independent, but we have to be very creative and we have to practice. Again, I'm going to sign off, and I hope that you're getting some assistance and help and ideas from me. I want to be able to get as many videos done as possible before I can't, you know what I mean? Because I'm already getting to the age, I'll be 70 in just a few days, that I'm concerned about how long I will be living, and I don't want to not do something to help everyone else. I think it's part of my destiny to be as helpful as I possibly can to everyone out there that is suffering from scleroderma, any autoimmune disease, any illness. And there's a lot more that I want to share. So take care.